to Miss Cindy's kitchen. I'm gonna, oh, my hair looks kind of weird. Anyway, I'm gonna show you how much apples we have accumulated over the last few weeks. We have more apples than we really know what to do with, so I decided to drag them all out into the open, drag it out into the light, and see what I can make with them all.
Yep.
So, as you can tell, this is probably at least a good 10 to 12 pounds of apples. And what I want to do, the project tonight, is to get some apples diced up, and we're going to make apple butter. This recipe calls for 5.5 pounds of apples, and that's the untrimmed weight. And basically, we do not peel them.
Oh, okay.
We're just going to cut them up, core them, and then aim for about 1/4 inch pieces. And then we're going to cook them in the crock pot on low for at least 10 hours.
Wow.
So I'm starting this tonight, and then it's going to cook overnight, and then in the morning I will stir it and just set it to warm, and then we'll come back to you after I get home from work and see how the apple butter's doing.
Okay.
So it's going to be nice and rich. So anyway, these are the apples that I'm primarily dealing with, and don't worry, they haven't been met with an evil witch or evil stepmother. So they're just regular red delicious apples. Most of the apples I'm dealing with are going to be like this. These are about 7 ounces a piece, and I need a total of 5.5 pounds of apples. So let me just do a quick calculation. So, and see, my calculator works better than my brain this time of night. So 5.5 pounds times 16 ounces would be 88 ounces of apples, divided by 7 would be probably about 13 apples.
13 apples.
Yeah. So I'm just, sometimes you have to run the math to see where you're at. If you can't weigh something, you just go by averages. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to cut these up. So we'll pause while I cut one up and show you the size pieces we're going for. Okay? We'll be right back. Anyway, I've cut up one apple, and I realized that there's some brownish bits in the middle, so I cut those out. And then I'm cutting them into, like, you know, 1/2 inch, 1/4 inch pieces. And you leave the skins on. And earlier today, I soaked these apples in the sink in vinegar and water. And you know, the reasons apples stay fresh so long and they look so nice in the store is because they're coated in wax. So much wax came off of the apples via the vinegar soak that it left a cloudy finish on the stainless sink.
So you use vinegar to clean the apples?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Because I was just about to ask you that. Why do you use vinegar water?
It breaks down the wax coating and pesticides. It helps get a lot of that ick off of the apples. So, because unless you have food that's homegrown or organic, you're going to have a lot of pesticides and residues on it. That just helps, because since we're not peeling them, we wanted to make sure they were super clean.
Okay.
So, this is one apple cut up, and it's not completely uniform, but it's close enough. So, while we get the rest of these apples cut up, make sure you like and subscribe and share this video to your friends and leave us a comment, and we'll be right back with you to show you how this process gets assembled.
So how many apples did you use?
Probably about 14.
14 apples?
It filled up the crock pot,
Oh, wow.
and I still have a lot of
Oh,
apples.
you sure do.
So, anyway, the recipe for this apple butter is from Sugar Spun Run.
Okay.
And so I'll show you the assembly of the other ingredients. It's 1 cup of packed brown sugar.
Okay.
Whoops. 3/4 cup of white sugar.
Okay.
And then it calls for, let me double check here. So in the bowl we have a cup of brown sugar so far, and 3/4 cup white sugar, and a tablespoon of cinnamon. And then we're going to have a 1/4 teaspoon of salt.
Okay.
So that's an 1/8. This is a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And a 1/8 teaspoon of cloves.
Cloves.
Yeah.
Interesting.
All the fall spices in the middle of July.
Okay. So this would be something that you can get geared up for the holidays.
Yeah,
All right. Cool go.
pretty much. And then we're going to add in 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla. Ideally, you would have a vanilla bean, but I don't happen to have one of those in my pantry. So we're going to use vanilla. So I'm stirring up all the dry spices and sugars together. Just mixing them up. And I'm going to pour them over the top of all these apples.
You're not going to put the vanilla in there?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm going to put the vanilla in.
Oh, you're going to do it now. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So
Don't-
I'm just going to
Just bloop it in there?
bloop, bloop, bloop. All right. And now that I have a very full crock pot, I probably could have used a couple less apples, but I kind of have a lot of apples. So I'm going to use them up. So I'm going to stir this. Doesn't that smell good already?
It does.
Cinnamon, vanilla, brown sugar. And the way this is going to come together is we cook it on low for 10 hours and then stir it up and then cook it on low again for a couple more hours. So since woo, that's hot already. Alright, I meant to grab the handle, but instead I grabbed the crock. Don't do that. It's hot. So I'm just going to get this all stirred up to incorporate it. And I had a couple of Granny Smiths and like one Honey Crisp that I threw in here. But most of it is Red Delicious, because that's what I had the most of. But I had a couple of random apples of other batches. So, since I'm getting up bright and early for work, I'm going to give this a stir first thing in the morning and let it continue to sit on low while I'm at work. And then by the time I come home, it's going to be yummy and delicious. So at that point, we'll show you what it looks like after it's been cooking overnight and then all day. But really, it only needs 10 to 12 hours, possibly a little longer. And then at the end, we will blend it up with the immersion blender to basically get it all emulsified and smooth. So anyway, make sure you like and subscribe and share this video to your friends and leave us a comment, and we will bring you back and show you the finished product tomorrow. All right, and we're back with the apple butter that's been cooking for quite a long time.
Yeah.
So I cooked it a little bit longer than necessary. So I'm gonna go ahead and use the immersion blender to grind it up.
Now, what does an immersion blender do?
It's a blender that goes into the liquid.
Okay.
Like, it's really good for soups and purees. And this will grind up all the little fine particles of like the skins and the apples. See, it's already improving the texture.
Mm-hmm.
And this will thicken as it cools. fantastic.
It does.
Just to make it all smooth. All right. All right, so let's get a spoon and we can taste test it. Just focus on that. So this is gonna thicken upon standing, so I guess I'll do the taste test.
It has legs.
Mmm. It's like a very silky smooth applesauce that's been cooked for like 24 hours.
Very nice.
With sugar, and it tastes like kind of a caramel taste.
Do you want to come on here and try this? You don't want to be on camera.
Yeah, so, but it's very good. And as you all can tell, it only used up about 1/3 of my apples, so I might make up another batch of this so I can maybe sell it at work.
Apple pie, apple crisp.
Yep, apples, and more apples.
Yep.
So anyway, thank you again for joining us, and we'll come back to you with more apple recipes. See you again soon.
Thank you for watching Miss Cindy's Kitchen. To get more recipes like this one, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell for notifications when new videos are uploaded. Share it out to your friends, family, neighbors, and leave us a comment to let us know how this recipe worked for you. And don't forget to hit that like button. Again, thank you for watching Miss Cindy's Kitchen.